Call the meeting to order at 6:05.
Yep, call the meeting to order at 6:05.
Will you please notify the public that West Bridgewater Cable TV is taping the meeting?
West Bridgewater Cable TV is taping the meeting.
And you don't have any appointments for this evening.
Okay.
My report is short.
Sweet.
We just received, and it's in your packet, a letter from the town administrator's office regarding the use of the town vehicle. So the individuals listed in the memorandum are authorized to use the vehicle. I am one of those listed as the principal assessor. There's a policy that's attached stating the rules and responsibilities for the use of the vehicle. There's also a statement at the back acknowledging that the individual has read the rules and regulations and agrees to abide by them. So this afternoon I brought up my driver's license and made a copy of it, and I signed the acknowledgement form. I probably won't use the vehicle, but
Well, it's nice to have, just
yeah.
in case.
I'm signed up to do so. So under new business, the review of the policies and chain of command, as you both know, the question came up last Friday about existing policies. Member Bunker had asked for copies of those policies. I believe, and so I included those in your packet. Did I include that in your packet? Yes, I included those in. No, I didn't.
Nope.
Right here. So, pass one down for Steve too, please. So the first one, there's two. So this that I was able to research. Actually, there's one that I was able to research. So the chain of responsibilities and communications, that had been issued in 2016, and I believe you did have a copy of that, Member Bunker. But the second one that's attached is actually not the policy that was voted in 2005. So I've drafted this for the board's review. The board should probably ratify the previous policy. I did talk with you about that, Clerk Smith. And I believe that you verified that with a former member of the
Yes, I did.
Board of Assessors. So it outlines the issue, the background, and the draft statement as best as I could revise it. The board would probably want to consider adopting that. Since the chairman's not here, I would suggest you defer
Yes.
until the full board gets to review it,
Yes.
discuss it, and vote on it. That's it. You have the documents for your signature for bills. So the only other thing I have are issues for executive session, just to give you an update. And I included a copy of the ATV schedule in your packet. So, Madam Clerk, Acting Chairman, if you would entertain a motion or make a motion to enter into executive session for the purposes of review of applications for abatement and exemption relative to Purpose 7 under Mass General Laws, Chapter 69, Section 60, and to review and discuss strategy of pending appellate tax board cases relative to Purposes 3 and 7, Massachusetts General Law 59, Chapter 60, because to do so in open session would have a detrimental effect on the board's litigating position, and not to return or reconvene in regular session.
Okay. Can I ask a question, Mr. Chairman? Are we already heading to executive session? I make the motion to go into executive session?
We haven't got that far yet, because I have a couple questions for
So
John.
you can make a motion, you could second it, then you could have discussion on that if it's relative.
Okay, so I'll make the motion to go into executive session, not to reconvene in open session.
I don't second it, because I have a couple questions for John, and Ms. Colley was asking if she could ask a couple questions, but that's at your discretion.
Is that on the agenda?
Because I don't know what, I don't know what the subject is, so I don't know if anything's on the agenda or not.
I think it should be supposed
I
to be
mean,
on
if it's
the agenda
relative
if she
to
has
something that
questions.
was already discussed on the agenda. Otherwise, you
And
have
it's
the
not on
agenda
the
before
agenda,
you.
so I don't see why we have to entertain anything.
Again, that's
I
your
know, just put
discretion.
myself on the agenda again, no problem.
But it's not a, I mean, I understand questions may not be on the agenda, but we had this way back when I first started about letting people ask questions. We can't always answer them. They may not be something, whatever she's asking may not be you or anybody
I know,
else.
but we've had so many problems with open meeting law violations, everything else, I just don't wanna chance it.
But we have right on the bottom, any unanticipated items not listed may also be brought up for discussion. So that, because every other board has a line like that on there, and that's why we added it, because I brought that up when we first started. She can ask, and I'm just using you as an example, Deb, because you're just here.
That's fine.
But you may ask a question, you may not get an answer. It may be something that the chair decides, you know what, you need to put that on an agenda. That's something we need the full board here to discuss.
That's fine.
And Steve isn't here right now, so I mean, I'm just not comfortable doing it, I would rather wait for a full board. That's my,
Which is okay.
Your discretion.
that's my thought, so.
But I mean, I'm just saying just to let her ask her question and then say, you know what, Deb? And again, I'm using just you as an example because you're here.
May I suggest, Madam Chair, if it's a question that I could answer, maybe Ms. Colley could approach me after the meeting and maybe I can answer the question.
Sounds okay to
If
me.
she wishes to, or if she wishes to call the office or come to the office.
Is it a board question or
I
a
think it
Mr.
would be
Donahue
a board
question?
question.
Well, the full board's not here, so I'm not going to entertain it tonight, unless Steve comes in now.
So just because there's a thing that says I can ask something, you just don't want to because.
It's not a full board, I'm sorry.
Well,
It doesn't
just
matter,
for-
it's a.
just for clarification, as you know, the agenda is posted. If anybody wants to be on the agenda, they can ask to be placed on the agenda. Because part of the open meeting law requirement is that the board have some sense of what is going to be discussed, and that the public is put on notice as to what is going to be discussed.
Sorry, now it's a full board.
Yes.
Hey, Steve.
So,
Sarah, how are you? Sorry I'm late. I was upstairs.
It's okay, so there's a motion, just to bring up to speed, there's a motion to go into executive session made by Acting Chairman and Clerk Smith. Paula wanted to ask some questions, and Ms. Colley wanted to ask some questions. Clerk Smith, Acting Chairman, said she didn't feel comfortable taking questions that weren't on the agenda.
Right.
And I explained that if Paula had questions, or if Ms. Colley had questions, and if I can answer them after the meeting, I'd be happy to stay
Okay.
and answer them, or if either party wants to call the office or come in the office and ask a question. I could,
Yeah, we'll do that, and if you can't, then we'll put them on the agenda for the following meeting, executive session.
that's right.
Were we scheduled for executive session?
yeah, it's on the agenda, yes.
Yeah, because I got, I've been working on the Cedar case, and I got stuff I want to bring up. You probably have too, don't you?
Yes, but that should be discussed in executive session.
Right, so that's why, I'm saying, that's why I want to, go into that.
So
I have some
there's a
interesting
motion.
information.
I made a
There's a
motion to
motion,
go
there's no
into
second.
executive session, and I don't have a second yet.
The motion was to.
Oh, right now, so just in time. Okay, yeah, so I'll
Right.
second that.
McCarthy second, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I had a couple questions for John.
Okay, in executive session?
No, they were
Oh.
just for regular.
Oh, before, yeah, go ahead.
Right, but he
Yeah.
was,
Yeah,
I didn't want to interrupt when he was speaking.
No, I'm sorry,
You go in the
yeah,
long
yeah.
spiel of.
yeah, I just
about
walked
his-
in, so yeah, okay. Do
No,
it,
no,
yeah,
no, that's
yeah,
fine.
yeah. And then we'll do it afterwards, after you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you able to get with Maureen and get her some of what she needs at least?
I was, yes.
Excellent.
I had a discussion with her.
Okay, so she should be good in the near future.
Yes, she should.
Okay. And were you able to put together the rest of that comp time?
No, I did not.
Okay. All right. I'm
And
good for now, thank
Okay.
you.
So can I ask a question if it has to be related to the comp time stuff?
It's not on the agenda, Steve.
Yeah.
Why do you have to be so negative all the time? What is your problem?
Deb, why don't you just send an email in, requesting to be on the next agenda?
I would just call and ask.
Yeah, you're right, do that,
This is
call.
ridiculous.
Yeah, do that and call, and,
If it's a matter of, there's a public records request, and I will respond to it, if that was a,
Yeah. well, have her ask it, and then if you can't, do it, otherwise we'll put her on the agenda for the following meeting, either executive or whatever it
We've
is.
had enough of issues with open meeting complaints, I don't see any more.
Well, I share that
You
concern.
know, we gotta do it the right way. Because if not, you know what happens. You and me.
Well, even though the selectmen, though, they do have an open session, or an open session, but an open question time where the chairman will ask if anybody has questions. Water department does the same thing.
Yeah,
So I don't think entertaining a question is gonna get into an open meeting violation.
Well, you never know. You don't know.
I don't know if you meant it that way or the format and how we do it. I'm not up to my, you know, again, I'm a numbers cruncher. As far as that stuff goes, I roll with it. I'm not sure. The best thing is what somebody said earlier, have her ask the question, you know, and if you can answer it, most assuredly do so. If you can't, put her on the agenda for the next one, whether we deal with it in open session or depending on what it is, executive session. But if she can come into the office or talk to Paul or, you know, whatever, or yourself, right, it's best done that way, you know?
And not to beat a horse to death, but I think that has been the board's policy.
It has, because I've had people, yeah, it has. So,
In order to get items on the agenda,
That's right.
the office should be contacted.
yeah.
If I can accommodate the person right then and there, then obviously it doesn't have to be.
I mean, it's not a question of, you know, what's the FY17 tax rate, you know, but something that could concern the board or policies or stuff instituted within our office, then it's gotta be done that way. But if it's something simple, which most times it's not, you know,
Okay.
okay. So we'll either, you can do that, you can get her whatever it is, or, and then,
Are we still taped? Are we still being taped?
yeah. So get that done if you can handle it, otherwise we'll, our next meeting, whenever that date is.
2 weeks from today, 7 plus 14 would be 21.
Boy, you're good. You know,
You're
that's
the
why we get you
numbers
around
guy.
here. Yeah, I'm a numbers guy. Not lately, it's been
Sorry.
crazy.
Sorry.
Yeah,
So there's a motion, Mr. Chairman, and there's a second to go into executive
Yes.
Okay.
session.
All in favor?
all right. We'll take a roll call for that. Assessor Bunker,
Here?
Smith,
Yes.
McCarthy, yes.
6:18.